Hello students, welcome to this session. I am Satyaram Bhatt, Mathematics faculty of Bhatt and Bhatt Tutorials. So in earlier sessions, we studied Euclid's division lemma, applications of Euclid's division lemma, fundamental theorem of arithmetic and its first application, that is to prove the irrationality of a number using fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So let us continue with this real numbers chapter. The last concept of this chapter, that is second application of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So if you learnt earlier that the second application of fundamental theorem of arithmetic is used to check the decimal expansion of a given rational number. And we should conclude whether the decimal expansion of given rational number is terminating or terminating repeating. The other term for repeating is recurring. So before going into the theorem, so let us study few examples for better understanding. So let us try to understand with the help of examples. So let me take the first example 0.375. So this is a given decimal. So we are trying to understand in the reverse way, that is taking a decimal form. Let's try to convert this into P by Q form. That is our standard definition of rational numbers. So 0.375 can be rewritten as 375 divided by 1 followed by 3 zeros, as there are 3 decimal places. Correct? So similarly, let me take one more example 0.104. Again, this can be converted into P by Q form by writing like this. So let me take one more example 0.0875. 0.0875. This can be converted into P by Q form like this 875 divided by 1 followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 zeros. Correct? So I have taken 3 examples 0.375, 0.104, 0.0875. Now let us study this. Okay, see 1000 can be written as 10 to the power 3. Correct? Similarly, here also it becomes 104 divided by 10 to the power 3. Here it becomes 875 divided by 10 to the power 4. Now, can you guys tell me or can you think of what are the factors of 10? So, I can say that there are only 2 factors of 10. What are the 2 factors of 10? 10 can be expressed as 2 into 5. Correct? 2 and 5 are prime numbers. Here you can observe if it is 10 to the power 2, obviously the expansion also becomes 2 power 2 into 5 power 2. Observe, if I make 10 to the power 3, the expansion becomes 2 to the power 3 into 5 to the power 3. This is following the basic indices laws that we have studied. 10 to the power 4, what will it become? 2 to the power 4 into 5 to the power 4. So let me use this and apply to the 3 examples that we have taken. So 375 divided by 10 to the power 3 becomes 375 divided by 2 to the power 3 into 5 to the power 3. Similarly, this becomes 104 divided by 2 to the power 3 into 5 to the power 3. So this becomes 875 divided by 2 to the power 4 into 5 to the power 4. I hope you have understood till here. Now what we shall do is, we shall go for prime factorization of the numerators. Prime factorization of the numerators. So let us find out for 375. So 375, as it is ending with 5, we can say that it is easily divisible by 5. Correct? 5 sevens are 5 6 are 30, 5 sevens are 35, 2 is the remainder, 5 5s are 25. Then 5 ones are 5, 5 5s are 25, 5 3s are 15, 3 ones are 3. So therefore, I can write 375 as 5 into 5 into 5, which becomes 5 to the power 3 into 3 to the power 1. divided by 2 to the power 3 into 5 to the power 3. This has been rewritten as it is. Similarly, let us check for 104. So, if I do prime factorization of 104, this is an even number. So, obviously divisible by 2. Again even number, 2 2s are 4, 2 6s are 12, 2 1s are 2 3s are, and you observe 13 is a prime number. So, how can I express this now? 104 can be expressed as 2 power 3 into 13. So, 2 power 3 into 13 divided by 2 power 3 into 5 to the power 3. Yes. Now, let us go for 875. 875, as it has 5 in its units place, that is this, we can say that it is easily divisible by 5. So, 5 ones are 5, 5 sevens are 35, 5 fives are 25, 5 threes are 15, 2 is the remainder, 5 fives are 25, 5 sevens are 35, 7 is a prime number, so 7 ones are 7. So, we can rewrite the expression as 5 to the power 3 into 7 to the power 1 divided by 2 to the power 4 into 5 to the power 4. Yes, I hope this is very clear with you. It's a simple mathematical reduction. Now let us observe the common factors. See, here you see in this example, in the numerator and denominator, this factor is common, therefore I can cancel out. Similarly, if you observe here, 2 power 3 and 2 power 3 gets cancelled, and here 5 to the power 3 and 5 to the power 3 leaving 5 to the power 1 as it is. So, how will it get reduced to? Here this gets reduced to 3 power 1 divided by 2 power 3, as 5 power 3 and 5 power 3 are cancelled. Here 2 power 3 and 2 power 3 are cancelled. So, I am reduced with 13 divided by 5 power 3. And here 5 power 3 is cancelled with 5 power 3. So, 1 5 will be remaining. So, expansion becomes 7 power 1 divided by 2 power 4 into 5. Am I right? So, now students, can you observe a pattern in these three answers that we have received? Can you observe a pattern? This is extremely important. This observation helps you to decide whether the decimal expansion is repeating or non-repeating. Okay. So, we can say from denominator observation that the expression for denominator is in terms of 2 or 5 or both. That is power of 2 or power of 5 or power of 2 and power of 5, both. So, we do not see any other prime factor in the denominator. Okay. So, if the given decimal expansion is terminating, what we observe here is in the denominator of the p by q form of the given decimals, the factors involved are powers of 2 or powers of 5 or both. So, this gives us our theorem to decide whether the decimal expansion of a given ratio is terminating or non-terminating repeating. So, basically we will say here whether it is terminating or not. Okay. So, please note down this theorem. It is theorem 1.5 in your textbook. So, let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. Then x can be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are co-prime, and the prime factorization of q is in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m, where m and n are non-negative integers. Where m and n are non-negative integers. See, let us try to understand the theorem. The theorem is now available on the board also. So, they have said that the given ratio or the given form of P by Q is terminating. That is the conclusion. So if it is terminating, then how should be the expansion of Q? That is our denominator. Okay. So denominator expression, or if I do the prime factorization of denominator and reduce it by using numerator expansion also, how should I reduce it? I am reducing it to a form of P by Q where P and Q are co-prime. In such case, Q will be having factors powers of 2 or powers of 5 or both. So now let us try to understand the reverse. What do you mean by reverse? If I give you a fraction in the form of P by Q, you should now try to tell me whether the given fraction when expanded in form of decimal form, will it terminate or not? So what is the theorem for that? So please note down, that is your theorem 1.6. Let x is equal to P by Q be a rational number such that the prime factorization of Q is of the form Q is equal to 2 power n into 5 power n, where n and m are non-negative integers. Then x is equal to P by Q terminates. So supposedly let's see how they will ask question in your board examination. So they will give you a fraction. Check whether the following fraction terminates or not. Prove it. They'll give question like 2 by 7. They'll give 1022 divided by 3560. So in such cases, what should you do? You should be able to analyze whether the given fraction terminates or not only based on the observation of the denominator of this given fraction. So what is the procedure? You should take Q, you should convert that into factor format, that is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Prime factorization of Q, convert it into power form, then check whether that expression contains powers of 2 or powers of 5 or any other prime factor. If the prime factorization of denominator contains only 2 power n or 5 power m or both, then the decimal expansion terminates. Supposedly think that this expression had like this. I am taking it for an example case. So you had it like this, 2 power 2 into 5 power 3 into 7. If this is the prime factorization expansion you got for Q, then that given fraction is non-terminating. If this 7 was not present, then this P by Q is terminating. Okay. So you might have some confusion still. I will clarify those confusions through help of examples. So meanwhile, please note down this. We will continue with examples. Yes, sir. Now let me take an example and try to show you how to make the analysis of whether the decimal expansion of a given fraction is terminating or non-terminating. Okay. So let me take example of 14,588 divided by 625. So your question actually says here like this. So they will say, without actually performing the long division, state whether the following rational number will have a terminating decimal expansion or non-terminating repeating expansion. So in this case, what should you do now? So you should take Q, that is my denominator. So what is my denominator? It is 625. So I should try to convert this into my prime factors format. So as this has 5 in the units place, I can say this is divisible by 5. So 5 ones are 5, 1 is the remainder, 5 twos are 10, 5 fives are 25. Again divisible by 5, 5 twos are 10, 5 fives are 25. again divisible by 5, 5 5s are 25, 5 power 1. So I can observe here is 625, the expansion of 625 in terms of prime factors is 5 to the power 4. Therefore, I can write 14,588 divided by 625 as 14,588 divided by 5 to the power 4. Now, upon observation of denominator, I see that it is in the form of 5 to the power m. So, what did our theorem say? The theorem said that the denominator expression, that is expression of q, if it is in the form of 2 power m or 5 power n or both, that is 2 power m into 5 power n. If it is in one of these formats, then the given fraction is terminating. That means if I do the actual long division now, we observe that this will result in a terminating decimal. So let us verify that. So let us do the verification. So what is my conclusion? Actually, by observing the denominator itself, now I am telling that since it is in the form of 5 power m, the given ratio or fraction is terminating. So this is my conclusion. So let us verify. Let us verify how the theorem holds good. Okay. So before going for long division, let me try to do any cancellations possible. If are there any cancellations, let us try. So for that, let me go for expanding of 14 power 588 in terms of prime factors. So 14 588, an even number. So it is divisible by 2. 2 sevens are 14, 2 twos are 4, 2 nines are 18, 2 fours are 8, then 2 threes are 6, 2 six are 12, 2 fours are 8, 2 sevens are 14. So next, which one should I take? So let us try. 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 4, 13, 13 plus 7, 20. So 20 is not divisible by 3, so this is not divisible by 3. So let us try with 5. 5 since it is not ending with 0 or 5, obviously this is not divisible by 5. So let us try for 7. 7 5s are 35, 7 2s are 14, 7 1s are 7. So this is possible. So 7 5s are 35, 1 is the remainder. So 7 2s are 14, 7 1s are 7. Correct? Understood? So next 521. So 521 itself is a prime number. So what will be the expansion? So I can say 14,588 is equal to 2 power 2 into 7 into 521. Okay. So once we observe that there is no common factor for numerator as well as denominator. So there is no way of cancelling. So I should go for actual long division. So actual long division means what? Now I should take 14,588 whole divided by, so it was 625. So 625. So if I take 3 digits, obviously the 145 is smaller than 625. So I have to go for the 4-digit number 1458. 1458, I have 625 here, 2 times. If I do, so 2 5s are 10, 2 2s are 4 plus 1 5, 2 6 are 12, 1250. So 8 is the remainder, 5 minus 5 is 0, 4 minus 2 is 2, this gives me 0, 2 not 8. Then I should take 8 down, so I will be getting 2088. Since 2 times was 1250, if I make one more addition, it will be smaller than this. So I will go for 3, correct? So 3 5s are 15, 3 2s are 6 plus 1 7, 3 6 are 18, 8 minus 5 is 3, 8 minus 7 is 1. So I have to take a carry, 10 minus 8 is 2. I am left with 213. I should put a decimal place, then 0, 2130. So again, see it was 1875, correct? So can I go for 4 times? if I go for 4 times, you observe it, see, if you simply take 4 times and multiply to this, 4 6 are 24, it is going bigger than 21. So obviously not possible. So I have to go for 3 times only. So 3 5s are 15, 3 2s are 6 plus 1 7, 3 6 are 18. So I have to take a carry, 10 minus 5 is 5, 12 minus 7 is 5, 10 minus 8 is 2. So 2 5 5. Now I should put a 0. Now it is very important. So you observe that this is 4 times is 4 6 are 24. So this is bigger than it. So I can try for 4 za. So if it becomes 4 za, so 4 5 are 20, 2 is the carry. 4 2 are 8 plus 2 is 10, correct? 1 is the carry. 4 6 are 24 plus 1, 5. So 2500. So I am left with 50. Correct? Correct. So I am left with 50. So what should I do next? So 50. So let me represent this here. So 50 divided by, I am left with 625. So I had 23.34 here. So if I put 0, here also 0, still it is not divisible. So I have to take one more 0. Now we observe it is 4 was 24. 5 5 6 are 30. So still very smaller than this. 6 6 are 36. Again smaller. 7 7 6 42. 8 So let's try for 8 because 8 6 are 48. Still it is smaller than 50. So we can think that okay, it might be divisible by, or it might be smaller than 5000. So let's try out with this. So 8 5 are 40. 8 2 are 16 plus 4 20. 8 6 are 48 plus 2 50. So what did we observe here? What is the conclusion? So with the actual long division verification, we have got to know that the decimal expansion of 14,588 divided by 625 is 23.3408, and we observe that the decimal expansion is terminating, and it is clearly verifying our theorem that the denominator expression, that is expression or expansion of q, if it is in the form of 2 power m or 5 power n or both, in that case the decimal expansion of p by q terminates. Yes, I hope now this is clear to all of you. Please note down this also. Yes, sir. We studied now two theorems. So let me just read out both the theorems for you. See, read theorem 1.5 says, let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. Then x can be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are co-prime, and the prime factorization of q is the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers. So it basically says we are assuming that the decimal expansion terminates. In that case, the expansion of denominator q should be of the form 2 power m or 5 power n, or 2 power m into 5 power n. So powers of 2 and m can be 0 to anything. Okay, they should be non-negative integers. So the converse of this, or the reverse way, is your theorem 1.6. Again, I'll read out that let x is equal to p by q be a rational number such that prime factorization of q is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers. In that case, the decimal expansion of x is equal to p by q is terminating. I hope these two theorems are clear to you. Okay. So in the beginning, I told you about one more case. That is, the decimal expansion of p by q can be terminating or non-terminating repeating. Correct. So let's go for that case. So let me explain to you that with help of an example. Again, let's understand with an example. So let me take x is equal to 1 divided by 7. So let us go for expansion of this, 1 divided by 7. So as numerator is smaller than denominator, so it directly starts with a decimal value. So 7 ones are 7, 3 is the remainder, 0, 7 fours are 28, 2 is the remainder, 7 twos are 14, 6 is the remainder, correct? 7 eights are 56, 4 is the remainder, correct? 7 fives are 35, 5 is the remainder, 7 sevens are 49, 1 is the remainder. Why am I stopping here? You observe, I started with digit 1 and I took a decimal value, made it as 0 here, correct? So I started with 1 and you observe here, I am getting 1 again here. That means what? I will be taking 0 here and I will be starting the process. 7 ones are 7, 3 is the remainder, and you observe here. So if I continue, next will be definitely 2, then will come 6, then comes 4, then comes 5, and again I will end up with 1. So that means here this will be 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, and again I will be starting with 1. That means this part repeats after certain interval. So what is happening? The decimal expansion of 1 by 7. 1 by 7 is obviously a rational number. So decimal expansion of 1 by 7 is non-terminating. Correct? It doesn't terminate at all. It goes up to infinity. So we can represent it like this. So it is non-terminating as well as repeating. Why do I say repeating? Because the set of digits are repeating after certain interval. So non-terminating, repeating. So now we have to make an observation. What observation? So in earlier theorems we made an observation using the expansion or prime factorization of denominator. So denominator, if we observe here, it is 7. Q is 7. It is not in the form of 2 power m or 5 power n or 2 power m into 5 power n. So what can we conclude here? We can simply say that prime factorization expansion of denominator q does not contain 2 power m or 5 power n, then the decimal expansion is non-terminating, repeating. Understood? Let me repeat once again. If the factored form of q, which is denominator, does not contain 2 power m or 5 power n or both at all, then the decimal expansion is non-terminating, repeating. Is it clear now? Yes? So let me give you theorem on this. Please note down, which is theorem 1.7 in your textbook. The theorem says let x is equal to p by q, where p and q are co-primes, be a rational number such that the prime factorization of q is not of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers. Then x has a decimal expansion. Then x has a decimal expansion which is non-terminating, repeating. The other term for repeating is recurring. Okay. So let me just read out exactly given in your textbook. Let x is equal to p by q, where p and q are co-primes, be a rational number such that the prime factorization of q is not of the form 2 power n into 5 power m, where m and n are non-negative integers. Then x has a decimal expansion which is non-terminating, repeating or recurring. Okay, I think this example has made it clear to you how to identify using the prime factorization of denominator to determine whether the decimal expansion is terminating or non-terminating, repeating. Yes, students, I hope this is clear to you. The question in your board will come like this. Without performing actual long division, determine whether the given fraction is terminating or non-terminating, repeating. So what is the procedure? The first step is you have to do the prime factorization of the denominator, that is q. Once prime factorization of denominator is done, express it in form of power form. What is power form? That is 2 power m into 5 power n, such kind of representation. If your denominator q does not have prime factors 2 power m or 5 power n, then the decimal expansion is it is non-terminating repeating. If the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, then the decimal expansion is terminating. Yes, fine. Please note down this.